Welcome to another startup and complete car documentation. What we have here is a 2020 Subaru Ascent Limited. This Ascent is painted in magnetite gray metallic. On the key fob, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, power tailgate release, and panic. You also got smart key access for the front doors. On the front door panels, you'll find storage areas with bottle holders. You also have, as you can see, a premium Harman Kardon sound system, power windows, locks, mirrors, and two-person memory for the driver's seat. The Limited trim adds leather seat upholstery, and this one has a slate black interior. Both front seats are fully powered.
Now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine. It of course has push button start.
The Ascent is Subaru's entry into the midsize three-row family crossover segment, going up against mainstays like the Honda Pilot and Toyota Highlander. The Ascent debuted for model year 2019 as an all-new model riding on the Subaru Global platform, and it is also the largest car that Subaru has ever made. As of the 2023 model year, the Ascent is still in its first generation. For 2023, it also received a mid-cycle facelift. While Subaru had previously made another three-row crossover in the past, known as the Tribeca, that model was a sales flop. So Subaru started with a clean slate and looked to fix the Tribeca's shortcomings with the launch of the new Ascent, and it's looking like those attempts were quite the success, as Subaru ended up selling more Ascents in 2019 alone than they did Tribecas during the latter's entire 2006 to 2014 production run. It also probably doesn't hurt that crossovers in general are already ridiculously popular right now, and there's still a massive demand for them. The US market 2020 model year Ascent came in 4 trim levels: Base, Premium, Limited, and Touring. So far, all Ascents have used the same combination of engine, transmission, and drivetrain: a 2.4-liter turbo boxer 4 making 260 horsepower, paired up with a Lineartronic CVT automatic and Subaru's Symmetrical all-wheel drive. Standard on all trims is Subaru's EyeSight driver assist technology, and even more safety features can be had as options. In Subaru's 2020 US crossover lineup, the midsize 3-row Ascent sits at the top of the range, slotting above the midsize 2-row Outback.
In the instrument cluster, you have 4 analog gauges, which of course are your tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge. And then within that is a digital info display, which can be gone through via the controls on the steering wheel. You're also able to go into all sorts of settings as well. Your trip reset button right here. It has a 3-spoke design, leather-wrapped, and multifunctional steering wheel. As for controls, you have your audio and Bluetooth controls on this side, along with your information display controls. You can also heat the steering wheel via this button, and then you also got the controls for your cruise and adaptive cruise control. Got your lane keep assist, And there are also paddle shifters for the CVT's manual shifting mode. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. You can open or close the rear tailgate from here. Got your interior lighting button. Turn on all the interior lights. You can set how far the tailgate will open. Get your panel dimmer, and then your traction control toggle and blind spot detection toggle. A little bit of storage right here, an air vent for the driver. Right here, got your exterior lighting stock. Then on this side is your wiper stock. Now going down the center of the interior, first of all you have a small screen right here, which can be gone through via these buttons. Nice info we have to look at on that screen. Speaker up top. The aforementioned controls for that little screen. Hazard switch, passenger airbag indicator, your central climate vents, and then right here is the touchscreen interface for your infotainment system. You then have some physical radio / infotainment system controls right here, volume power knob, tuning, seek track, and then some shortcuts. And below that you have all the controls for your dual zone automatic climate control, and then you also have 3-stage heated front seats. A little bit of storage with a 12-volt power outlet. Below that you've got an aux port as well as 2 USB-A ports. With these buttons you can toggle on or off your X mode, which is like an off-road driving mode, and then your auto brake hold. 2 cup holders next to the shifter. Behind the shifter you'll find your electronically operated parking brake. Putting it in reverse does reveal a backup camera. Also have guidelines, parking sensors as well. Massive center console. A little bit of a shelf above the glove box. The glove box itself is lockable. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. Auto dimming rear view with your garage home link, along with a compass. On the overhead console, you have your overhead lighting, toggles for your lane departure warning and your pre-collision braking. You also got roadside assistance, a sunglass holder, along with a mirror to keep check on your passengers. And then you have the controls for your panoramic sunroof. Grab handles as well for the driver, front passenger, and both second row passengers. And finally, here is a look at the infotainment system that you get. So this is the home screen. You have phone for pairing a phone, self-explanatory. Bring up your navigation map. My Subaru, there's a lot of apps. Media. Here's the radio right here we'll go to. You have AM, FM, and Sirius XM, plus Bluetooth audio streaming, and the CD player, which this one surprisingly still has. 2019 was the first year for this, so pretty surprising to see a CD player still. But then you got apps, you got various things, Sirius XM, Travel Link, Pandora. If you have subscription to any of those, they come in this infotainment system. All sorts of settings, sound settings, phone settings, navigation settings, all sorts of stuff, vehicle. But now let's go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both front windows are fully automatic.
The limited trim adds a set of 20-inch 5-split-spoke two-tone machined alloy rims. The Ascent gets its power from a Subaru Boxer 2.4-liter turbocharged flat-4 engine. It's an aluminum power plant which includes dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, direct injection, and dual active valve control. Horsepower is rated at 260 at 5,600 RPM, while torque is rated at 277 pound-feet from 2,000 to 4,800 RPM. Power is sent to all 4 wheels via Subaru's patented Symmetrical all-wheel drive system as standard, and the transmission is a Lineartronic CVT automatic with a virtual 8-speed manual mode. Running on regular unleaded with a 19.3-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for the Ascent Limited are 20 mpg in the city and 26 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a double wishbone rear suspension. Bringing the Ascent to a stop are 4-wheel ventilated disc brakes. Base curb weight for an Ascent Limited is 4,515 pounds. As for towing, the Ascent is able to tow up to 5,000 pounds if properly equipped.
You also have storage on the back door panels, rear bottle holders, as well as rear sunshades. But first we'll check out the third row. Alright, we're in the third row. As for amenities, third row passengers do get cup holders on either side, some storage, climate vents, overhead lighting, and then on this side you also have a couple of USB-A ports. But space back here is not very comfortable. You know, I'm about 6'1", and I could definitely not sit very comfortably back here. This is a third row best suited for kids or just very small people in general. But having this third row is sufficient for larger families who want a Subaru, but the Outback is too small for them. Now on to the second row. There are mat pockets on the backs of both front seats. Climate vents as well, overhead lighting. I love that panoramic sunroof. It extends all the way back to the second row captain's chairs, which do get armrests. Passengers also get their own separate set of climate controls, and you also have 2-stage heated second row seats as well. Got 2 more USB-A ports and 2 cup holders. And these second row seats are also sliding, and with this you can also recline them. Basically the same sort of adjustments as the front seats. It is nice to have those adjustments in second row seats, and if there's someone behind you in the third row and they're uncomfortable, you can put this a little further forward for them. And space back here in the second row, again I said I'm about 6'1", and the driver's seat's roughly where I'd have it if I was driving, and it is quite comfortable back here. I can definitely see taking this on a nice long road trip and being in a good amount of comfort. The panoramic sunroof, the heated rear seats, it feels very nice to be back here. It does have dual exhaust, rear wiper, and it does have a power tailgate.
Cargo space in the Ascent, when equipped with a sunroof, is 17.6 cubic feet when all the seats are up, 47 cubic feet with the third row folded down, and finally 86 cubic feet with the third and second rows folded down.
And as you saw earlier, the fuel door is on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2020 Subaru Ascent. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.